Well, I'm on the farm today. It's Monday, May 30th, Memorial Day weekend, and we're going to try to bale a little hay today. I hope it's going to work out. This will be essentially 2.5 day hay, and we got a heavy dew this morning, and there was fog earlier. You can see a little bit right there on the mountains, and I need to bring my John Deere 348 around, and still got a few things to do to it, and just kind of get it all rigged up and ready to go. Planning on running the baler on my John Deere 5055D. There's a possibility I might put it on the Massey 1105 later on today. Depends on what we have cooking here. Pulled out the old Lely spreader, which is just a heap of rust right now, and I brought the Kubota fertilizer spreader over here and kind of put it in its place. I've got it set on pallets, and the reason I do that is because they're slick, and you can, when you're hooking this thing up to a PTO, you can kind of shift it around. Alright, what I've done here is I pulled my drawbar out to, I had it tucked in for using that spreader. And I pulled it out, I think it's like 14.5 inches from the end of that PTO stub to the hole. And then this is called an equal angle hitch. Now what this does, this pin right here falls to the center of your PTO shaft from one yoke to the other yoke. And when you do that and you go into a turn, if that pivot point is in the center of that shaft, it makes the angle in the turn with whatever you're turning on both yokes, it makes them at an equal angle. And if the yokes are at an equal angle, then they have the stress is they're not as stressed. I guess maybe that's what I'm trying to say. So it's kind of like a poor man's CV joint, but it's very effective. Well, we use this Farmall 350 to kind of hustle those wagons, kicker wagons down there. I don't know if you can see them, to get them in position. Yesterday I found a hole in the tire in the tread right there. I don't want to slime these things because I'm going to replace the tires hopefully before the year's out. And but I've got them, they're leaking around the rim. There's no tube in these tires, and they're leaking around the rim pretty good, but it slowed it down enough that we were able to use this thing. And so I just got it sitting up here out of the way. Alright, so I got the 348 baler out, and we're going to go finish setting this thing up. Alright, so we got it here. Need to hook up the PTO. Got a few little points I need to grease, and I want to slip that clutch, the slip clutch, make sure it's not bound up over the winter, and then we'll hook it to a wagon. We'll be ready to go. There's breezes are just starting to pick up ever so slightly. I think they'll pick up a little more as the day goes on. There's less breeze down here, I guess, because of these trees, than when you get up on that upper end of this particular field. And so my John Deere baler's a little dirty, but that's okay. I'm not a big fan of power washing equipment. I guess maybe I should be, but I've always been fearful of getting water into bearings and on a tractor, screwing up electronics. But I see people doing it all the time, and I guess if it works for them, that's just, you know, that's fine. I'm just a little fearful of it myself, but you know, again, that's just me. Some people hate green John Deere equipment and John Deere tractors. I have to say John Deere's been very good to us. I don't want to jinx anything before we go out in the hayfield, but this has been an excellent tractor. This baler has just been terrific. Have yet to try the 335. We might do some testing with it. That's a big maybe. We're not quite ready to cut a field and bale with it. Certainly next year we'll put that thing into service. So we're going to do everything we can with this baler right here, and if we get to a place and we got plenty of time, we might hook that thing up and try to crank out a round baler too, and see, you know, what we got before we start taking belts off and checking lacings and remeasuring and trimming, you know, trimming belts and all that kind of stuff. So let me get busy finishing the prep work on this baler, including making sure my hay preservative applicator is working. All right, so my son's just about finished doing the rake and Ted in one pass with that Vermeer TR90, which is again a Lely 300 Combi. This hay is drying nicely, and I'm getting ready to pull the square baler in the field. We've been tying up the wagons, and so let me come right back. So we brought the John Deere 335 over here. We thought we might put it on the big Massey and maybe run a couple of test bales to see what we had going into winter, you know, as far as belts and splicings and just bearing temperatures and things like that. We're not ready to put this thing into the, we're not ready to cut a field for this baler, but we would have liked to have run a couple of square bales through it just to kind of see where we're at, and not trying to bale, trying to repair blindly into next winter. However, that is not possible today. We're getting a pretty good breeze. It comes and goes, but between that and the sun, it's looking pretty good to bale hay. So the reason we're not going to run that round baler today is because I brought the Massey 1105, unhooked it from the crone, and I got it over here, and I heard something and looked back, and my 3-point lift was on the ground, pretty much on the ground. Got hydraulic oil everywhere, and I don't know if you can see in there, but there's a hose that's got a hole in it right there, and evidently when I raised this thing up and it stopped, it blew that hose, and that hose comes out to this cylinder. That can be replaced. There's a fitting here and there's one down there, so it doesn't look like a terrible job, but I'm glad I caught it when I did, because we'd have probably spilled a lot of hydraulic oil on the ground. We kind of take the good with the bad. Come back, let me make sure this thing's running right. Alright, so pounding out a few bales and just kind of checking the tension on them. I had them really, really tight earlier. I think this is better. And my son has finished this field. I'm averaging 11 to 12%. Every now and then I'll see just a momentary spike of like 14%. I've been able to kick up a gear because it's so light. It's you know, it's thinner than normal. So my ground speed's a little faster to fill up the pickup. And I've I had a video on skin cancer and prevention. So I got my shirt on today, and I got some brown jersey gloves, and of course the hat that I wear all the time. I hope that this doesn't turn into a sauna and I have like a massive heat stroke, and instead of sun cancer getting me, the preventative of sun cancer kills me with a heat stroke. Let me just keep going, okay? All right, so I got one wagon filled, and we just hooked up to a second wagon, kind of standing down here in the shade. The long sleeve shirt deal's not too bad until you just stop moving. It's the breeze moving across your body, plus the wind makes it bearable. I can't imagine if this shirt was like 100% cotton, I'd probably be dying. But knock on wood, the baler's doing good. As I think I said, the humidity's anywhere between 11 and 12%. Sometimes I'll see a 14%. Maybe a 15. I haven't seen anything higher than that. Preservative is ready to go, but definitely not using it today. But no fertilizer. The yield is definitely down, and that's just fine. Up there at the old house, got a customer. They live close by, and they wanted to buy hay as soon as I baled it, which will help us as far as not having to unload and stack a wagon in the barn. So that's a good thing. I'm gonna get a drink of water here, and then I'm gonna hit it again. The faster gear is making it go quick, so I'll come back. Let's stop for a minute to take a water bottle break, and just about to finish this wagon off. It won't be long. We'll start on our third wagon. The first wagon's half empty. The customer took half of it. They're coming back for some more. If we need to, we'll hook up the finish it off again. But it's going pretty good, I think. The hay, 12% seems to be the moisture. You can see I'm just taking sections and working my way inward, and that seems to be doing pretty good. But I'll be done here before long. We're going to have to unload a wagon or two to finish up. But very pleased with what I'm seeing so far. This is 2.5 day hay. We cut this stuff on a Saturday evening, tedded it on a, let's see, cut it on a, Saturday evening. We tedded it. I gotta try to remember now. This is Monday. Yesterday we didn't do anything, which was Sunday. Oh yeah, I remember now. You know, if you're a haymaker and you're baling hay, your mind is kind of jangled, so just kind of bear with my insanity here. But we cut it on a Saturday evening. It was overcast, and it didn't rain, but it was sure did look like it. And we tedded it. I said the evening. We cut it on Saturday about lunchtime. Later that evening we tedded it. Sunday, which was yesterday, we didn't do anything, and kind of let the sun come in on it. And then this morning we raked it, which the Vermeer TR90, which is a Lely 300 combi, it teds it and rakes it. It's just the action of the machine, and put it in the windrow, and we're getting 12% moisture, and we're getting Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you know, really nice Sunday, 2.5 day. Monday, 2.5 day hay. It may be even 2 day. All I know is, knock on wood, it seems to be going pretty good. So let me just stop talking and keep baling, and see if we can finish this field. My oldest boy, he's tedded the field that we cut on Sunday evening, on Saturday evening, and we're gonna try to bale it tomorrow. Tight bales. Alright, so we just took a partial wagon to the barn that was up there. Customers coming back for some more. They haven't made it back. So we took that full wagon up there and took the partial wagon to the barn. Figured that'd be the quickest to unload. And then I got an empty wagon on the John Deere here. So I'm going to start baling hay again. And hopefully we'll have an empty wagon coming in behind it. My fourth wagon down there has got some structural issues we just kind of discovered this morning, and so we're not going to be using it. So we're kind of pinched a little bit for wagons, but I think we'll be all right. Never know what you see in a hay field. There's a Farmall 350 hustling a wagon. I've been idling here for a fair amount. Customer came and loaded up again, and we're going to take that wagon down and unload it. I'm going to park this wagon, and then I'm going to hook up to the empty wagon I got down there and see if I can finish this field. It's starting to get a little bit late. We probably could have been done by now, but we've been stopping and going, just depending on what's going on. This customer, they're a repeat customer, so we need to stop and take care of them. But all in all, we've had a pretty good day. I hope we can finish that way. All right, that was the last windrow for the day on this field. We're done with it. We got a little bit of scrap, kind of not great hay down through here. We'll roll that up and windrow that up, and bale it. Let me get this thing opened up. This handle, there's two safeties on this John Deere square baler. The first one is when you turn the flywheel off, these belts drive the pump, and there's no pin-up pressure in the system. So as soon as that pump stops working, all the pressure is gone. And the second one is this latch right here locks out the kicker mechanism. So you can actually have it running, lock out the kicker mechanism. I don't know that I recommend that, but the 42 kicker, what's unique about it is the cage flips up, so you can get to your trailer hitch and you can get to a bale of hay. And let me just kind of throw this out there. Right there's one of our bales. And we don't make a super long bale. This one's probably a little shorter, but our customers are generally women and older people, and they can't handle a 50 or 60 pound bale of hay, and neither can we. And my wife and daughter help, and I'm no young guy anymore, so it's nice having just a really tight bale, not some puffball, and packed full of hay, and in a little bit shorter package. And I dare say, because we've made them here before, especially with our old New Holland, really only with our old New Holland 68, a 36-inch bale of hay, and it was a puffball, and it really didn't weigh any more than that thing did. This baler has got hydraulic tension on it, right here, and on the other side there's I think that's the only cylinder. No, it's the cylinder's hydraulic on both sides. And I highly recommend it. It makes a really consistent bale throughout the field as the day wears on. I mean, sometimes you have to adjust it a little bit, but it makes a really nice bale of hay, consistent tightness. And like I say, when you turn it off, it relaxes the bale chamber. So it's like unscrewing the cranks on your bale chamber, and you can pull your hay out. So I'm gonna kind of stop it here. Right there's my son coming across with an empty wagon that he and one of my other boys have unloaded. He's got the Farmall 350, and I got a wagon full out there, partial wagon here, and we're kind of done for the day. The yield is definitely lighter, and you know, it's a kind of a double-edged thing. You know, on one hand, it made it a lot easier to get this field up. On the other hand, you know, we could have had probably twice as much hay. I know we could have had twice as much hay, and it pays to fertilize. But like I said, fertilizer prices are up. You know, we bought a couple of tractors and a round baler, and I just felt like I wanted to put the brakes on the spending a little bit, and we may pick up the fertilizing again next year. So it's kind of a nice change of pace. And I have some help today. My boys are here, and my daughter was here yesterday. She tedded some hay for me, and but I have to be prepared to go at it as an army of one. So a little bit lighter yielding field has proved to be an easy job in a lot of ways. I mean, we still have physical labor unloading all this kind of stuff, and then having the customer come out. He came out twice today and loaded his truck up, so that saved us some work stacking in the barn. Anyway, that's where I'll leave it. Got the John Deere 5055D down there, 348 John Deere baler with a number 42 pan kicker, or as John Deere calls it, the 42 ejector. Homemade kicker wagon. Somewhere out there is the Farmall 350 hustling wagons, and we'll talk to you later.